Richard Hammond remains a firm favorite with viewers, especially when he teams up with former Top Gear pals Jeremy Clarkson and James May. Their newest Grand Tour adventure recently launched, and it saw the trio exploring Scandinavia. The latest Prime Video special saw Richard Hammond, Jeremy Clarkson and James May exploring Scandinavia together. Speaking to Express.co.uk, the 52-year-old reflected on the Grand Tour's success and his relationship with Jeremy and James, giving his view on the series and why it works. The last two Grand Tour specials were very different to what fans of the hit show were used to because the COVID-19-related travel restrictions meant the car enthusiasts couldn't go far. Instead, the trio travelled across Scotland before exploring French car culture. However, Richard talked about what he loves most about the Amazon Prime series. "The show is lovely," he remarked. It's part of my life now. And those guys, we've worked together 20-odd years. It's a long time. And so yeah, it's lovely. When we get on set and the director calls action, it's like we step into a world we've never been out of. Like it exists out there all the time with us three being idiots and meeting somewhere in cars. So it's always a joy to get back together, and that'll never change." He added, "We're very lucky to get to do what we've done." Opening up on his relationship with the pair and why fans love to watch them together, Richard detailed how their relatable bond resonates with fans. He said, "Any TV show where you see that genuine rapport amongst mates, and everybody has a circle of people that they know, and you reach that point where you know roughly how they'll react if you say something. And I know that with Jeremy and James, and I know that with Neil, Anthony and Andrew, Greenhouse, because we've known each other for years. So I know if I'm talking to Jeremy and James, and I say something about motorbikes, I know Jeremy will fire up. I know where the conversation would go. I don't know exactly, but I can predict. Likewise with Neil and Anthony. If I say something about going to a posh restaurant in London, I know where they'll go with it. And that's what you've got with your friends and what we've always had. People like seeing that on screen when it's for real because it's familiar." Neil, Anthony and Andrew work with Richard in his solo series, Richard Hammond's Workshop. Detailing how it came about shortly before Series 2 premiered, he explained, "I would be setting up the workshop anyway. I was going to do it not on TV, but then I thought it might make a TV show. It's different doing it as Richard Hammond off the telly, and we're honest about that on the show. We don't try and pretend otherwise because it's got to be honest or it won't resonate. And being on the Grand Tour is part of what I've done, and therefore it feeds into the TV show about what I'm doing now, which is running as a workshop." The Grand Tour is available to watch on Prime Video, while Richard Hammond's Workshop can be watched on Discovery+.